Hi everyone, it's Ashley. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. Guys, I am so excited to be back with you. And more importantly, I'm so excited to be back with you so soon. So today is definitely just going to be some random crafts that I need to get done because it was like a couple weeks that I hadn't gotten into my craft room. My crafty to-do list has definitely backed up. So we're just going to go ahead and knock a couple things off of that today. I don't think I have a particular theme. Maybe one will kind of make an appearance as we go along, but honestly, this has just kind of become one of my favorite types of videos. And it's actually like one of my favorite types of videos to watch. So I hope you guys enjoy it too. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so first off, I want to go ahead and start with my iron on projects just because I only have two of them and I want to go ahead and just get those done so I can turn my heat press off and be done with it. So with that being said, I just have this little blank here. Now I got this from the Target dollar spot. It says water bottle backpack and it says fits water bottles ranging from 2.75 through 4 inches. And this was $3. So I'm sure most of you have probably seen these or something similar. So it's just Velcro and you just open it up and then it goes around your like tumbler cups and it has a little pocket in the front here. And then the top opens up and you can put things down inside. Now, I am filming with my phone. That is how I make my videos. However, I did test it out and my phone does fit in here. Now, you guys, you're going to laugh, but I don't know what phone I have. I'm so sorry. I know it's an iPhone, but I have no idea what number it is. However, whichever phone I have, it is not a Max and it does fit in here. So, with that being said, I just cut out a little design here in some iron on. I have my Easy Press Mini warming up to the side here. I'm gonna go ahead and start that on low just because I don't know exactly what this material is. To me, it feels kind of like a neoprene. I think that's how you say it. So when I'm not sure and I'm kind of just testing something for the first time, I will typically just kind of err on the side of caution, right? So I'll just start lower and just monitor what's in front of me because I can always kind of turn the heat up if I'm noticing it's not laying down. But if you go in like kind of too hot too quickly, you can burn your blank very, very quickly. So I think it's always better to just kind of be safe than sorry. So with that being said, in my favorite white glitter iron-on, I have it linked below if you're interested. I just cut out this little design that says happy go lucky. Now, you guys have seen this on my channel before. I'm pretty sure I put it on a mug. And I'm just absolutely obsessed with this little saying here. So I'm going to go ahead and use it one more time and use it for my little tumbler backpack here. Okay, so I just kind of measured the space I had between like this stitching here and then like the start of my pocket because I know that I wanted my design to just kind of sit right in this little blank space here. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and try to get this as centered as I can within that little space. Okay, and that placement looks pretty good to me. I also just have a little like hand towel here. I'm gonna kind of just roll this up onto itself a little. Maybe put your towel in first because I did have to remove it to get my towel in just because it wasn't staying where I placed it. So no problem. I actually think that this will help me get it lined up even better. So I definitely probably could have thought that out a little better, but sometimes, you don't learn until you do it. I'm the kind of person I definitely have to kind of like walk through something or kind of either talk my way through it or just literally walk my way through something to kind of figure out the best course of action. So that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and start to lay this down. Now, once again, I just have this on the first wavy line there, which is low heat. And your Easy Press Mini is made to be moved. So I'm going to just continuously move this around my design. I'm going to try to give each area maybe about 30 seconds. However, I'm honestly not worried about the time. I'm simply looking at what's in front of me. I'm going to kind of just monitor it and see if I can tell when it's starting to kind of lay down. And as you kind of work with like certain materials, and I think just kind of like it with your Cricut in general, you will kind of see that you will be able to tell when your material is ready. So with that being said, that pulled up really, really nicely. That actually came out like perfectly. Now, because I am who I am, I'm simply going to lay my liner back down and give this just a little additional heat just to make sure that this really stands the test of time and that it really is down super nicely. Okay, and that actually came out so, so cute. I am in love with that. And I just love cutting anything out of glitter iron-on. I feel like just the extra sparkle just always adds something. Telling her that we went on a quick little vacation and we actually took my daughter to a water park. So when I saw this at Target, I thought that this would be perfect to use on my cup and just be able to put like my cell phone and like our key card for the room and maybe some chapstick and things like that. So I am so, so excited to have this. I think that this is going to be such a great addition to our little outings. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, now bringing in my next little blank here. I got this from Hobby Lobby. It says the Spring Shop, and it was $1.99, but I know it was at least 40% off. So it just says canvas flag. So I did go ahead and cut out a sweet little design, and I plan to put this up in my daughter's room. So this is going to be just a little bit of decor for her. And I still want to get you guys a video of my daughter's little wall in her room that I have like all the signs and different decorations that I have made her. However, a couple of them have like some personal kind of touches on them. So I'm kind of just figuring out like how I want to do that without necessarily showing like too much. So I appreciate you guys' patience. But I do hope to show you guys that wall because there are some things that I'm super, super proud of that I've made for her over the years, and I would love to share that with you guys. Okay, so as I read this design here, I have a question for you guys because I was literally just sitting here thinking about it. But like, when do you know that you need to change your weeding tool? Like, because I feel like this is definitely not like the original one that I've had like since I've had my Cricut. However, I think that I've only replaced it once. So like it's definitely not something that I have like replaced on a regular basis at all. And like I said, I was just sitting here reading that first part and I just kind of got to thinking like how do you know when you need to replace it? Will I know? Is it like only if it gets bent or do they get like dull and less efficient? Because I don't know. I feel like I could kind of benefit from a new weeding tool, but I don't know why I necessarily feel like that. I just feel like maybe the end of this isn't as sharp as it once was, which I've used it a ton, I'm sure is the case. But I'm just wondering like if anybody else notices that or if you know or have come across like when you know you need to change your weeding tool. Okay, so as I kind of finish up here, you should be able to kind of see where this is going. So in Cricut Design Space, I simply went in and found a font that I liked, which if you guys are interested, let me know. I will get you the font information. But since this is for my daughter's room, I thought this font was really cute just because it has kind of more like of a childlike feeling to it. And the dots to the eyes are little hearts. So I just thought like for a 4-year-old little girl's room, yes, please, right? Like she is all for anything hearts and pink and love and I love that for her. So with that being said, like I said, I just went in, found a font that I liked. I typed out my saying, which is on earth as it is in heaven. And then I just simply kind of took the measurements of my flag here. And then I just sized this in Design Space to how I thought it would look nice on the blank itself. And then since I wanted to use this color, but I only had it in 2 pieces of scrap. So I simply cut it on 2 different pieces of iron-on. However, if you had like one long piece, you could definitely cut this out, like kind of all together and have Cricut do the spacing for you. Now this flag is very, very thin, so I do not think it's going to take much. Again, I have my Easy Press Mini on low heat, which is the first wavy line. I'm simply going to continuously move this around, just monitoring what's in front of me. I honestly don't even know what material this is. I didn't look to see if the tag said. So I don't think this is laying down. I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to the second wavy line, which is medium heat. And I'm also going to give this a little bit of pressure. Okay, so I went ahead and turned that over. And I think that it's definitely laid down now. Let's check. Okay, so my O is having a little bit of a problem. Let's go ahead and give some more heat there. Okay, so that bottom part laid down really nicely. There we go. And then once I laid some more heat on that O, it laid down just fine. And here is my little sign. And then I also will more than likely be changing out the hanger with this one here, or I have like a little white pom-pom one from the Dollar Tree. However, I will definitely be changing out the hanger just to kind of make it a little more cutesy and feminine. But other than that, here is my little flag. I am so, so excited to have this for her room. Okay, guys, those are the only two iron-on projects I had. Let's go ahead and do some adhesive vinyl. Okay, so we're gonna do some adhesive vinyl. Now I am gonna start with my largest project. That way I can go ahead and cut down my transfer tape and hopefully use that for the rest of my projects tonight. Now this blank here you guys have seen before. This is from Hobby Lobby. It comes in a 3-pack. I do not remember all the details, but I will try to link the video where I hauled it. However, for this one in particular, I gave it a stain around the outside with my Waverly Antique Wax. And then the back, I just painted with white chalk paint. So like I said, this is definitely my largest project. And honestly, it's kind of been a while since I've done like a big adhesive vinyl project. So I'm actually really excited just because I do really like big projects like this. And I just kind of like the challenge of it. Because I don't know about for you guys, but for me, I feel like something always just kind of tends to go wrong, and I have to kind of think on my feet to remedy it. So, knock on wood, that will not be our case tonight. However, if it is, I think that we will probably get through it. And if not, we just throw it away and start over. Another night, though, right? Because let me tell you, if I'm crafting and like things go south, let me tell you, I am like shutting everything down and going to bed. I am like, once something starts kind of going not the way I want it to, I am like, oh yeah, time for bed. Because once I start getting frustrated, I start making like a ton more mistakes. So I have definitely learned about myself that it's just kind of better for me to kind of take a step back and revisit something. Okay, so that seems to have weeded really well. I will say the only thing is if I am missing any pieces, I think it's gonna be near impossible to find them just because I did like crumple up that big piece. It just kind of was coming up so nicely. I didn't have to stop and cut it. So I just kind of ran with it. But like I said, if there are any missing pieces, those are probably going to have to stay missing because I don't think I would have much luck. However, I mean, just as like kind of an initial look, it's looking pretty good. So how pretty is this design? I just found this in Design Space and I'm going to make this little piece of art for my entryway table. So this is just kind of an example of just some like non-word art that I would make just to kind of fill the space when I don't necessarily have something specific I'm like crafting for or decorating for, right? So it's just a piece of home decor that is beautiful, that's just pretty to look at, and I made it. So I was definitely looking to just kind of change up something on that table. And I just kind of wanted to change the colors a little bit. They were still very like on the spring side, which I for one love. However, I just was kind of over that color scheme. So I just want to go a little more neutral until I start crafting for 4th of July. So, how has everyone's summer been? Let me know down in the comments if you're comfortable where you live and how the weather has been lately. Because let me tell you, I am in Florida and it has been so incredibly hot. This has definitely been like one of the hottest summers I have like probably ever experienced. Which, I don't know. Every year I always think to myself, like, is it getting hotter or am I just getting older, right? Because honestly, at this point, I really don't know. It could be either one. So, either way, it's becoming almost unbearable. So, just let me know. Like, are you guys dealing with the same? Okay, so that weeded really nicely. I have absolutely not one bad thing to say. And I think that I pretty much am going to be able to leave that like pretty much full speed for the most part. I just want to be able to give you guys an idea of like how long that actually took me to weed. And I have to say, I really don't think it was that long. Now, the inside of my frame here is 11 inches by 11 inches. So I did go into Cricut Design Space and I created a shape with those dimensions. So bringing in my transfer tape here, I use my weeding tool just to get it started off the liner. I then turn it over and expose just about an inch of my transfer tape there. And I recently saw someone leave a comment And they said, like, if you fold the corner of your transfer tape, once you kind of get it started, then you don't have to use your weeding tool to like go pick it back up once it's on your blank. And let me tell you, I just thought that was absolutely genius. It's amazing like how common sense something seems, but yet it's like you would never have thought about it. I promise you, I have been crafting for years. I have been doing things the exact same way for a large portion of that time. And let me tell you, that idea literally never crossed my mind one time, which is another reason I just love like crafting videos and like the crafting community, because we just all think of things so differently, and I just feel like we all can learn so much from one another, because there's just things that, one person thinks of that I would never think of. And then there's, maybe something that I would think of that you wouldn't necessarily think of. So for that person, thank you so much. That little tip, I believe, is going to change my life. So thank you. And if you're not exactly sure what I'm talking about, normally at this point, like once I like put my design down and now it's time to get the transfer tape up, normally I would take my weeding tool and kind of put it here and try not to scratch my blank, but just kind of get my transfer tape started so then I could remove it, right? However, when I went to go start my transfer tape to begin with, I simply just folded this back so it's non-sticky right here. So now I don't have to use anything, right? It's not going to stick there. So I literally just have a little tab and now I can simply just pull from there with no risk of scratching my blank. So like I said, I just thought that was absolutely genius. And that person probably has like a PhD, and thank you for your knowledge. And here we go. Here is my little sign. I think that came out so cute. I love it. Look how simple and elegant that is. Literally with just, one 12 by 12 sheet of vinyl and just one little frame that is very, very imperfectly painted, but I think it just adds to the charm of it. This fits into my home so well, and I am in love. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, bringing in my next little blink here. You guys saw this little frame I got at Target. It was $3 in their Bullseye Playground. Now, when I showed you guys this, I simply showed it to you in a haul just to show you how pretty this frame was for $3. I just think the look of it is so high end for the price. And I simply put the pattern paper in because, I didn't want to put a family photo in it to show you guys. But I felt like the pattern that came in it was not appealing. And like not even that it was like super unattractive. It just wasn't my taste and I felt like it was distracting. So I simply went in and put this piece of scrapbook paper in it with you guys just to kind of show you and give you like the effect of how I would kind of see it. However, I will tell you, I showed you guys this and I set it in my living room and it has set in my living room just like this since I showed you guys. And I have to tell you, like, I have grown to love this frame with this pattern paper in it. So, with that being said, I'm actually going to use this in my kitchen. I just went in and cut out this little design I found in Design Space. It's just a little cow, a pig, and then a chicken. And I'm just going to put that right on the top of the plastic there. And like I said, I'm just going to simply put this into my kitchen. Oops, I forgot to weed this little space between the pig's legs. There we go. No harm, no foul. No pun intended. Anyway, so I thought this would just be cute for my kitchen. I'm simply just going to set it on a shelf in my kitchen just like this. And I thought that was so cute. Now, this definitely does not have to be permanent, right? It's just how I'm choosing to use it for now. And I think that this will be such a pretty addition to my kitchen. All right, guys, we are making great time. So let's go ahead and keep moving. This mug here is 30 ounces. I got this at Target. And honestly, I've really come to love this mug. It is like the perfect size. So I have one little tiny piece here that I accidentally pulled up that I need to keep. So just bring in my tweezers to grab it. I'm going to try to lay that back down. So the last time you guys saw this, we made it over and I put trophy wife. So I have had that on there ever since and I loved it. However, it is time for a change. I am tired of looking at the same things, so into my craft room I come. And make myself essentially a new mug, right? Girl math. So I showed you guys last video my iPad and I told you about the digital planning. So that has still been super fun. I'm totally into that. I love it. However, it was really funny. Somebody left a comment that like they don't use a planner because they're retired. And I put something along the lines of like that's the ultimate goal, right? Like not to have to use a planner at all. And retirement just sounds so amazing. But it's so funny because later that day I saw a video. I saw a video later that day and somebody had like their occupation as a part-time housewife and I just thought how funny. Like I don't want to be a full-time housewife, just a part-time housewife. Okay, so because I am just one to, just want to switch it up, I just went in and cut out this sweet little mama design with the sweetest little bow. Now, I did cut this out of a really, really pretty light green color. And I just thought it would go really nicely with this pink. I wanted to do kind of like a tone on tone look. However, I didn't have a pink that contrasted enough, but like not too much. I had a pink that was like literally the same exact color, but I thought that wouldn't give me enough contrast. And then I had a pink that was just like too far off from this one. So they weren't like complementary. So I decided, now look, I gave you guys that hack, and here I am like still using my weeding tool. I'm telling you, old habits die hard. However, I have got to like make that into a normal part of my routine. It is so genius. Okay, and here we go. Here is my little design all finished. Now I do have just like a couple scrapes here. I did get a few of them from the last time I changed out my design, but I also got a few of them just in the normal kind of day in and day out wear of using my cup. I do take this to work with me every day that I work, so it is bound to happen. However, here is my little tumbler all done and I love it. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so bringing in my last blank here, I showed you guys this in my last video. I got this for my husband for Father's Day from the Dollar Tree. Now, I will tell you, when I opened the back of this, this was like this, and this was like this. So when I showed you guys like in the haul, this is how it looks. These letters here, this is just like a piece of paper. This letters here are connected to the piece of paper, right? And someone asked if this was my husband, and no, it is not. This is not my husband, and that is not my baby, but they are beautiful. Okay, so I simply went in and cut out a piece of scrapbook paper, and I thought that I could probably kind of make this just a little more my taste. However, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so this is my idea. I want to do something like this, right? And I want to have this pattern paper. And then I want to do the dad, which I cut out here. And I want to do that just like they had it on the paper. Now, my dilemma is this is very inset, right? I don't think that I can get my letters like down in here because if you can see, they're kind of inlaid. So it's going to be really hard for me to get my letter down in that space. So here are my little letters that I cut out. I measured them to be able to fit in here, so I'm pretty confident that they will. However, I honestly do not know the best way to kind of go about this. So I'm actually going to leave this in here, and I want you guys to let me know down in the comments below how you think that I should approach this craft in particular. So like I said, I have the pattern paper here and I'm going to put a photo of like my actual husband and my daughter, but I want to get these letters here and spell out dad just like they had in the little display. However, this is inlaid, so I need a way to get it like onto the glass or onto the paper. However, if I put it onto the paper, which was my original idea, I don't know how to get it like centered within my three little frames, right? So, like I said, I'm actually going to leave this in because I would love for you guys to help me out in the comments below and give me some ideas. I think that this is actually one of the best benefits of having a crafting channel is I can ask you guys for your feedback. So, here we go. This is absolutely the perfect time for you guys to let me know down in the comments how you would make this work. Okay, guys, with that being said, I did not mean to leave you with a cliffhanger, but that's all I have time for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As you watch this video, I may be at 1,000 subscribers. We'll see, but I am super close, and I just want to continue to say thank you so much for your support. It means absolutely everything to me. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.